Welcome back to the Alpha Blog channel, your hub for fight news and pop culture news. My name is Techno, and I'm here with the one, the only, Joshua Rich. Thanks for coming on, Joshua.
No problem, man. No problem. Thanks for having me.
I can safely say I did not expect to have a bare knuckle fighter be on the Alpha Blog channel, let alone interviewing one. So, quite a surprise for me.
Who do you normally interview?
Influencer boxers, mainly, and people outside of the influence boxing scene. So, I actually did interview a pro fighter a few weeks ago. So, you're probably the second person that's not influence boxer that I've interviewed. So, what an honor.
Oh, that's cool. Well, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate that. How did you get in contact with my management?
That was probably Angus who got in contact with you. I'm just the interviewer. He sorts all the connections out.
Cool. Well, awesome, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Let's get into this. I got some good questions here because I've done a bit of research into you and your opponent. But first off, how does it feel to be headlining a bare knuckle card?
I mean, it feels great. I've been with bare knuckle now for 2 years, and the fact that I'm at the top of my game in the flyweight division, headlining my first event, it's I feel like it's a great accomplishment. I've been in the fight game for a while now, but the fact that I'm really a homegrown guy in bare knuckle, and it's the fastest growing combat sport there is right now, and being able to headline it with a guy like John Dodson, it's quite an honor.
What's the training like for bare knuckle? Like, is it similar to what you do for boxing, or is it like completely different?
Yeah, no, it's just like boxing. It's basically the same exact thing. Leading up to the fight, just fight and without gloves. You know what I mean?
I imagine it's. I can't imagine it's. I can't imagine it'd be very nice to be going in there knowing that like there's no padding saving you because you're going in there with basically your fists, which after training are probably conditioned to be more like rocks. So
yeah, especially after the amount of fights that we've had in bare knuckle, it's like your knuckles and your hands just get stronger and stronger.
My next question is your opponent, Mr. John Dodson, which I actually know a bit about because I'm a big UFC fan. He's a former UFC title challenger who went against one of the GOATs, Demetrius Johnson. Does that worry you at all?
No, not at all. John Dodson, he's been in the game for a long time. He's paved the way for the smaller fighters. And the fact that he's fought many big name guys, that's an accomplishment, but it doesn't bother me one bit. John is a fighter like me. He's had many opponents. He's got a lot of experience. And the fact that he's been on bigger on the UFC platform. People know him, but I also know the amount of skill he has and watched him throughout the years, and my skill is far more superior than his. So it's going to be a very exciting fight between he and I, because he's just as fast as I am. We're both quick, agile type of guys, but our styles are totally different.
That's true because I've seen when I watched John Dodson's fights back. He's a very quick man, and at flyweight you're obviously going to be very quick because you haven't got a lot of muscle or a lot of like weight to carry around. So your footwork is going to be conditioned to the extreme to where you can zoom around very quickly. So I imagine that's also going to be a bit of a factor in this fight, since you two are going to be very quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Footwork and just the smaller weight classes in general. We're very quick.
Is there anybody in the bare knuckle scene that you'd want to get your hands on after your fight with Dodson?
There's nobody really in my weight class that sparks my eye. My last opponent, Chancey Wilson, continues to troll all my Instagram and Facebook feeds, and there's other guys that keep trolling. Which the thing is like those guys, Chancey just needs to just accept the loss, and then the other guy, I don't even remember his name. His last name's Incline, but he keeps continuing to troll my social media, and he's not even ranked in the top 5. So whatever he's trying to do, whatever he's trying to accomplish with trolling and clapping on social media, it's really a bad look on those guys, a bad look on him. And like there's no point for me to fight an unranked guy. So I'm ranked number 1. John Dodson's ranked number 2. He's the only big name that I really want to get my hands on right now. Anybody else that comes to my attention that is worthy enough, like I would have to say maybe a rematch with Chancy Wilson after I win the belt.
I can see that happening. This is one of my bigger questions, because obviously Bryce Hall, he's a big star in this world. So right now, and he is officially going to be fighting on the bare knuckle card. How do you feel to have someone like Bryce Hall fighting on your undercard?
No, personally, I don't know who Bryce Hall is. Never met him. Didn't even know who he was. Like I must have been out of that side of the social media. But Bryce Hall, I think he bit off more than he can chew. His opponent is going to destroy him. And the fact that when Bryce Hall gets into the ring with a guy like G, bare knuckles, G is a very experienced boxer. Like Bryce Hall has never really fought a real boxer in his entire life. I just think Bryce Hall is he's going to get hurt, and it's going to be and I'm sick of these influencers trying to come into a sport where they have no idea about what it's like to really take the sport seriously. Like the only true influencer that has made a name of himself and treats himself like a professional boxer is Jake Paul. And I've grown to like the guy. I've grown to to respect him as now a fighter. Like I thought he was, him and his brother are crazy on social media. Yeah. They were, they're popular, but now I respect the man as a fighter. But other than that, like whenever I see Bryce Hall's training videos, I'm like, is this a joke? Like you can't play fighting. And then this guy's getting in with a real fighter and having a real fight with bare knuckle. And I just think it's a bad look. I think it's a bad look for Bryce. But hats off to him for taking a bare knuckle fight. But I'm kind of over these influencers trying to come into a sport where they're boys and they're trying to compete with men.
What actually inspired you to get into bare knuckle? Because I don't think a sane mind goes into bare knuckle without thinking properly.
What got me into bare knuckle was my friend Julian Lane. He came and trained at our gym right out here in Florida. He and I became, good friends. And then I actually cornered Julian with my coach at one of his bare knuckle fights. And at the same time, they're bringing in the 125ers. And my manager at the time, or my manager now, at the time he wasn't my manager, but he approached me and was like, "Hey, like we're bringing the 125s in. Like, would you be interested? I think you could really do good in the weight class." And then after I saw one live, I was like, this is not that bad. I could totally do it. So, that's what really got me into it. I think it was the influence from Julian, and then me actually seeing a bare knuckle fight live, and it wasn't that bad. So I knew that I could compete in it. So I'm pretty happy.
If you are to win this Saturday night, you get your hand raised and you're officially declared the winner. Where do you see yourself going next?
I see myself just defending the belts. I would be the first BKFC flyweight champion crowned in the whole organization, ever. So I think I don't plan on leaving the organization. I plan on defending the belt as long as possible. And then whenever it's time for me to hang it up, that's it.
I can respect that. Do you see yourself like going up a weight class or down a weight class to get more belts like they do in the UFC?
Yeah, that's a possibility. You know what? You know, that's just something that we'll have to think about. You know, but that's definitely a good idea. It's something that interests me. But we'll see when that time comes.
This is my final question, and I wanted you to go into a more first person like POV here. I want to get what are your final words for your opponent, John Dodson.
You know, you better be prepared. You better be in shape. You know, I know you've never faced an opponent quite like myself. Everybody that you faced has been, you know, you've walked over. I'm going to be your toughest opponent, so you better be prepared, be ready, and because it's going to be a long night for you.
Then I think you said everything right there. Um, Thank you for coming on, Joshua. We at Alpha Plug are very appreciative. If you want to again talk for another interview, or you want to try joining promotion, then promote like another promotion, then we're always open for it. Got any last words you want to say?
No, I appreciate you having me on, and thanks for reaching out to my management, and hope to talk to you guys in the future.
Okay. Thank you everybody for watching the interview with Joshua Ridge. Do you think he's going to win this Saturday night? Let us know in the comments below. All our socials be in the description below at Alpha Plug, and we'll keep you updated.